Hi everyone, this is Brandy from Stitchin' in Oregon. I'm back for Flosstube 29. This is going to be my plans video for at least this month, if not the whole year. If you hear that scratching, it is my daughter's cat trying to get in this closet with me. So today is January 1st, 2026, so I just wanted to hop on. I will have another video that is a whip parade. It's kind of long. Yeah, I'm going to start off by giving you a little bit about myself since it's the beginning of the year and it's been a while. My name is Brandy. I live in Oregon, about 45 minutes between Portland and Lincoln City. So we do a lot of day trips to the coast. I love the ocean. I hate being cold. So yeah, we have, my husband and I have 4 kids. Our oldest daughter has graduated from college and lives in New Orleans. Our son has finished high school and is going to community college here. And we have twin daughters that are 13. I am a special education instructional assistant. I just finished my student teaching, so I will be hopefully getting a teaching position here real soon. Sorry, the shadow of my glasses is really weird over my eyes. I apologize. I am filming in a different spot. If you have watched my videos before, previously, my husband had refinished the small bedroom upstairs for me into a craft room, but one of the twins wants to move in there and have her own room. So I made this Harry Potter closet. We call it the hidey hole. It's like a closet under the stairs into my craft closet, which is okay. It is small, but it is holding everything that's important. And it was hard for me to get up to my craft room anyway because it was upstairs, and this way everything will be downstairs with me. So yeah, like I said, I work in the high school in special education, and I really love it. And I just finished my master's in special education. And we have 2 dogs and 2 cats. We love camping and hiking. My one daughter plays volleyball through club. Both of them do volleyball through school. So that keeps us pretty busy. We have my 2 dogs are both under 2 years old. One is under a year old. My dog Gideon, I'll put a picture of him in here. You guys have seen him before if you've watched before. He is a Boxer Great Pyrenees mix, and he's about 1.5 years. And he's giant and beautiful, and he was very afraid of the fireworks last night and just stayed in my lap all night long. So I had 100 pounds of guard dog in my lap all night. And then our other dog is Allie, and she is one that we rescued last June. We were coming back from a camping trip, and I saw a man tie her to a tree and walk away from her. So I pulled over and grabbed her, and now she's ours. And she will be 1 year old in April or May. We're not 100% sure. But she is a Australian cattle dog pit bull mix. But she is sweet as pie. She sleeps right on my chest most nights, or curled into me. And her love language is trying to lick your mouth. It's really gross. But she loves kisses. Coley, can you get your cat away from the door? Yeah, so that's kind of a quick little synopsis. I have been stitching probably 8 years, 7 years. I worked at Joann's for 5 years, and one of my really good friends was a cross stitcher that I worked with, and she convinced me finally to give it a go. Cross stitch scared the bejeebers out of me. But thanks to my lovely friend Nikki, I have all of this. So I have a little bit of a problem, but that's okay. They do say that crafters are notoriously impatient, and I am. I like to start things, and then I'll work on them pretty solidly for a little bit, and then I want to switch. So, yeah. So that is a little bit about that. I started off as quilting. My grandma taught me, and now my grandma does cross stitch and quilting, and I do less quilting than I used to. So this video is going to be a little bit about my plans for 2026, or at least the month of January. I usually film once a month until recently. I kind of fell off for like 6 months. Sorry, guys. I apologize about that. But I want to go over my plans. I want to make some progress on some things. I'm not going to say no new starts, because that'll mean I go buy everything and start everything. So that's always a bad idea with me. But plans for this year. I'm going to show you my projects. If you watched my whip parade that I have put up, you just saw these. It's only 12 projects for the month, but what I'm thinking is I am doing the 2026 HAED stitch along. It is the first time I have participated in their stitch along, and they released it early and I started it, and it has been a lot of fun so far. So that is going to be my focus for this year. I think somebody did a like a tracker chart to say how many stitches you would have to do a day in order to finish it by the end of the year. And for me, it's like 246 or something a day. Which some days I stitch more, some days I stitch less. Back in November, Allie flipped me out of the chair I was sitting in, and I injured my wrist of my dominant hand. And so some days are better and some days are worse with the pain in there. And I have an MRI scheduled for next month on my wrist. So fingers crossed it's not anything horrible. But so that can kind of change the amount that I stitch. I am a teacher, and so I'm busy a lot of the days because I do work in special education and in the behavior program. Some days can be really hard and really exhausting, and sometimes I only have the capacity for 5 minutes. Sometimes I only have the capacity to doom scroll on my phone. So some days there's no stitching, and then some days it's really heavy stitching, where I'm able to get, multiple hundreds of stitches. I'm not a fast stitcher, but that's okay. I'm more of like the process than the finished product. Clearly, I'm more of a process stitcher. So let's go over what I am thinking. So I want to do my focus project. I want to try to get those stitches in, at least daily stitch on it for a little while. And then I was thinking, I had not seen anybody talk about 12 by 12 this year. 12 by 12 is, I don't know who started it, so if you know, will you put it down in the comments for me? But it is on New Year's Eve, you start 12 new projects once an hour. On the hour, you start a new project. And it's supposed to be for 12 hours. And then you, that's what you go into the new year with, is those 12 new projects. I did that kind of. I did a version of that 2 years ago. It went horribly. My husband told me this morning he remembers how mad I was because it did not, like I had planned, I had everything ready, and that New Year's Eve was like the most chaotic New Year's Eve we've ever had. So, it didn't go well, but I have those projects still with very little progress. So what I was thinking is those ones that I had picked out for 12 by 12, I want to at least work on for 26 minutes each a month, which isn't a lot of time, but progress is progress, right? So, from those 12 that I started, I finished 2, and I DNF'd, did not finish 1. So that left me with 3 projects. So I added 2 from my stash in, and also have a quilt that I want to work on. I have a stack of quilts where the tops are done, and I just need to quilt them and bind them. And so I have that on my list too, of something I would like to accomplish for the month. So let's go over, I'll show you my focus, which is the Stone Cottage Keep. This is, like I said, the stitch along from Heaven and Earth Designs. It is an exclusive pattern to this. Artwork by L&L Designs, charted by Heaven and Earth. This is what she looks like. She's real pretty. I love this a lot. I am currently 1.77% done. I've done 1,558 stitches out of 88,145. And I'm stitching it on a 25 count 1/1 full cross. I started in the middle top. And what I am doing is I'm kind of stair stepping down, but I'm feathering stitches a little bit so that it's not like, you know, page breaks and stuff are not quite as obvious. But this is where I'm at. I started middle and I'm working my way over. Heaven and Earth was very gracious, and they gave us our bonus chart for finishing our 1 page, which is a Amy Stewart exclusive. And then I believe if you finish 6 pages, you get all 12 charts, which I don't necessarily want all of them. But I do think that because this is a smaller chart, that I want to make as much progress on it this year as I possibly can. So this is my first goal. So like I said, I have a tracker that they gave us, and so I can track all my stitches. And I think it said 240 a day, which is really high for me. But we'll see. Next, these are my 12 by 12 projects that I either started or worked on during, oh my gosh, words, New Year's Eve 2 years ago that did not go well. So the goal is to work on these for 26 minutes, at least for the month of January. I am playing with swapping out, like, not all of them, but a handful of them monthly to give myself some, like, variety. So, some of these I don't have pictures of, so I'll have to put pictures up. But this one is Violets and Primrose by Carolyn Manning Designs. This was one I had already had started, and I just worked on it on New Year's Eve. So this is one that, at least for the month of January, 26 minutes. Because, 2026. I'm trying to be cute about it, I guess. I don't know. So, that's the first one. I don't know how far I am on that because it's a paper pattern. But I do have the whole outside border done. And it does work up fairly quickly. Okay. This one was a start on New Year's Eve. This is Sweetheart Hill by Plum Street Samplers. And I started it 2 years ago, and then I restarted it on a different fabric. And this is where I'm at. This is my new anniversary piece. So, but this is like solid stitching because this band goes across and it's solid white, and then this house is massive, and then there's a green hill. Look at, it's like essentially full coverage. So, some work done on this one. Okay, this one is Poisonous Plants. I'll have to put a picture up of this one. This is by the Witchy Stitcher. This is one I'm doing for my son. I don't remember if I had started this 2 years ago, which is way too long. But I'm like 75% done. This is on a 28 count dusty, or I don't know. It's a picture of this plus fabric my son chose. This is where I'm at. And I did work on it this year and get quite a bit done. So 26 minutes won't finish it. But if I did 26 minutes for a couple months, I might get it done by my son's birthday in August. All right. Okay, next is, what did I do? Oh, there it is. Okay, next is Cinnamon Stars. This is also one that I started on Christmas or New Year's Eve 2 years ago. This is by Plum Street Samplers. Everyone knows this pattern. It's beautiful. I started it and then I restarted it. It is on a Grace Notes fabric called Jiwan, and it is on 32 count opal linen. This is where I'm at. So as you can tell, a lot of these 26 minutes is not going to do much, but it's something. All right, next, this is one that I just worked on from my stash. It was not a start on New Year's Eve. This is called Rising in the East. It is a pattern I got from Etsy, artwork by Chris Darrell, and the chart came from a shop called Addict to Cross Stitch. When I looked on Etsy, I think about a year ago, I could not find this again. So this is what it looks like. And I'm stitching this on an 18 count oatmeal Aida, and this is where I am. Okay, next is one called Rainbow Babies. This is one I am stitching for my friend. She does know I'm stitching her something, but has not seen it. This is one that I started like 5 years ago. And I have cropped the holy bejeebers out of it. So that's what it will look like. This is artwork by Kathy Amaral, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Stitched on an 18 count 2/1 full cross, and this is where we're at. And I can't give stats on this. I have no idea. So for sure, some of these I think need to go month to month, but others can go, you know, just a couple months and then swap out. All right, this one is Manor at Quaker Hill. This is one I started a long time ago, so I just worked on it. Actually, I added this one in for one of the ones that I finished. My poor cover. This is what it looks like. It is by With Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. And I'm stitching it on a 36 count natural linen 1/2. I think maybe it's 2/2 with the called for floss. And this is where I'm at. I love this one so much. So pretty, so pretty. Okay. Next is Winter Rose Manor. This is also by With Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. This is one that I had just worked on that New Year's Eve and still need to finish. I pretty much have this complete except for that pink house and the snow, and I need to finish the border. That's what it looks like, and I'm also stitching this on a 36 count. This is 1/2 with the called for, except the house is a different color and the snow is a different color. And this is where I'm at. Oh, I do need to do that, finish that basket of flowers. So I'm like, if you were going by size of chart, 50% done. If you're going by stitch count, like 25. Okay. Next we have this, it's called like Embroidery Pattern 805 by Embroidery Pattern PDF on Etsy. It's a cross. I just call it my cross. Oh, that's what it looks like. I'm doing this for a friend who is retiring in a couple years. I am stitching this on a 40 count ivory linen. And this is how far I am. All right, 2 more, I think. And then I don't know what quilt I want to work on this month. I do have a Christmas quilt. I think it's upstairs still. It just needs bound. So maybe that's the one I'll do. Okay, this is one I started on New Year's Eve. This is Aphrodite by Nora Corbett. I need the picture. This is my only mermaid. And I did work on this year. It is on a 32 count Lugana called High Tide by Stitch Me. And this is where I am. Very sparkly. There's a lot of Krynic in there. And then I stitched in some of her body so that I knew which way was up. Okay, now last one for my plans for January is Pledge of Allegiance by Crocette a Gogo. I love this pattern. It is stitched on a Stitch Me fabric. I think it is also a 32 count. I don't have the tag. Called for floss. Oh, you need to see what it looks like. Duh. Oh my Lanta. This is what it will look like. Okay. And this is where I'm at. I love this one so much. I'm excited to work on this. It's always the time of year to work on patriotic for me. Okay, so that is what I have for my plans. Let me know if you think I should keep those projects month to month or if I should swap some of them out. So Rainbow Babies needs monthly. Stone Cottage Keep, obviously the cross has to stay in there monthly. And I would like to leave poisonous plants in there until it's done. But that's only 4 projects. So, and it is January. So, 26 minutes should be doable. And that's in a month, not, daily on everything, but 26 minutes, I can do more. But at least 26 minutes on the projects. So, let me know what you think. That is my plans for right now. Looks like the battery is about to die on my computer, so I need to sign off and plug this in and get these videos edited. I hope you enjoyed this plans video. I hope to come back in a month. I have been notorious at not doing that. But now that student teaching is over and I'm done with school, like college, and my master's program, I should be able to have a little bit more time. So I hope you like my plans. I hope I have enabled you. If you haven't watched my whip parade video yet, go watch that. I'll try to put it up in the video for you. And yeah, that's it for now. Did I say who I was stitching in Oregon at the beginning of this? I don't know. I'm stitching in Oregon. And I'm a little scatterbrained. So I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.